Okay, now I've explained my simple formula for doing EFT. The next thing that I'm going to do is to actually teach you the actual process itself. And there are two parts to the process. The first part is called the setup. And the setup is where you actually tap with 2 or 3 fingers, usually your dominant hand, on this part, the side of your hand, which is called the karate chop area. And you make a statement which you say 3 times. And the pattern of it is, even though blah blah problem, I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though blah blah problem, I accept myself deeply and completely. Now you say this statement 3 times, and obviously where I'm saying blah blah problem, you're actually inserting the particular problem, the issue, whatever is actually happening for yourself. Now, in EFT terms, the reason for doing the setup is to stop your unconscious mind from possibly sabotaging any change that can happen. So that's the setup. The next part is the round of tapping. After you've done the setup, you tap in a number of places: the inner eye area, the outer eye area, under the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, the chest area, under your arm, and the top of your head. Now, I say what you will find is that different EFT professionals will tap slightly different places, and I would say don't get concerned about that. I've had clients tap in all sorts of places and get exactly the same results. So I'm of the school of thought that is, look, it's more important to tap, to tune in and to tap and actually stay with the issue and do something about it. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to do a round of tapping. So I'm going to encourage you to actually tap along with me. So this is what I would do if I was with a client. I would say to the client, okay, you're going to copy what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And what we're going to do for the purposes of this video, we're going to actually tap as if you're completely new to EFT and you feel probably a little bit embarrassed or silly actually doing the tapping. And you may be thinking, look, this is nonsense and it's not going to work. And that's what we're going to tap on. But before we do that, one of the other things that you do is you do a thing called a SUDS rating. It's a subjective units of distress rating. And you rate from 0 to 10 how strongly negative you actually feel. Now, if you start doing EFT on an issue that's perhaps a 2, 3 or a 4, you may not notice a big difference after you do the tapping. But I can tell you, if you're feeling really, really angry about something and it's an 8 or a 9 or a 10 out of 10, you are absolutely going to notice a difference with the tapping. So when you're doing it on yourself, don't have huge expectations. If it's only a little bit of an issue and you're not feeling hugely emotionally connected with it, keep yourself realistic in terms of your expectations. So we're going to start doing this tapping now, and I suggest that you just watch. No, you don't just watch what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and do it along with me while I'm doing it. So you're going to start off with 2 or 3 fingers on the karate chop area. And you're going to start saying, even though I feel stupid and embarrassed and I don't think this is going to work, I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though I feel stupid and I don't think this is really going to work, I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though I feel pretty stupid doing this, I feel a bit embarrassed and I really don't think it's going to work at all, I accept myself deeply and completely. And now we're going to do the round of tapping. I feel really stupid. I feel quite embarrassed, really. I feel stupid and embarrassed. I feel stupid and embarrassed. I don't think it's going to work. This is ridiculous. I feel stupid and embarrassed. I feel stupid and embarrassed. I really feel quite embarrassed doing this. Now take a deep breath. And at this point, I usually say to my clients, okay, what are you noticing? And the kinds of things that you want to look for or notice from having done the tapping is, did any little thoughts or images or associations or bits and pieces from the past come up for you? Occasionally this might happen during tapping. You might notice that you feel a little tired after the tapping, or you may feel a little bit more energy. So that next thing to do is to be evaluating how you're going with the tapping. So what did you notice? Did you notice any thoughts or feelings coming up for you? Did you notice any body sensations, a sense of lightness or heaviness or tiredness? All of these little shifts in energy can be really informative, that a little bit of a shift of something's happening inside you. You might have found tapping that you were doing a little bit of sighing, and that's a really good sign that something is starting to shift. But it doesn't mean that you have to sigh. It's just what happens for some people. Some people start coughing. Some people start clearing their throat. Some people I've known have actually burped while doing EFT. So there's different kinds of experiences, that people have with doing this. So I'm really big on actually stopping after you've done the tapping and actually evaluating. And then at this point, what we could do is then do another round of tapping on the remaining feelings of embarrassment. So we'll quickly do a little bit of that. All the remaining feelings of embarrassment, and that it's not going to work. The remaining feelings of embarrassment, and that's not going to work. The remaining feelings of embarrassment, it's not going to work. No, it's really not going to work. I really don't believe at all it's going to work. And I still feel a little bit embarrassed. What am I doing tapping on myself here? I feel embarrassed and pretty stupid. Okay, and again, take a deep breath. And notice. Another thing you might notice is, at this point you might notice that rating that you gave at the beginning, has that come down a little bit? Usually what you'll find is the rating has come down a little bit. If the rating goes up, that's actually quite a good sign too, because that means that there may be another issue or something's been triggered that connects to something else for you, and that's great. So don't be concerned if your rating goes up as well. So I'm going to finish there for the video today. I'm going to encourage you to watch video number 2, part 2, which is about what I'm calling the magical opposite. And this is really about why we tap on the negative. It's really, really important. So if you found this video useful in some way, or you want to make a comment, down below you can make a comment about the video. If you feel anyone else would benefit from it, then I encourage you to send a link to someone about that. And I'm curious to know, what might be the big issues for you in your life? What would you like to do some tapping on? Because I'm going to be making some more tapping videos and things around this. So I encourage you to watch part 2, The Magical Opposite, and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.